All right, Andrew, thank you so much. It is now 6:16. We have been saying, of course, for months that the path to the White House would go through Virginia, and we certainly saw that last night as the final results were tallied late into the night.
Yeah, we've got anchor and political reporter Ryan Nobles joining us. Thanks for getting up early for us.
Good morning. We're 3.5 hours of sleep's not too bad, right? Okay, we can do this.
We saw close numbers here in Virginia, 51% to 48%.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I found most interesting about last night was how similar it was to 2008. And in order for Mitt Romney to win, he needed to do significantly better than what John McCain did 4 years ago. He did better than what John McCain did, but not nearly enough to win. I think people seem to forget how much President Obama won by in 2008, somewhere around 6 or 7%. So the fact that he was still able to win by about 3% shows that Mitt Romney did better, but not nearly as well as he needed to do in order to win. And we saw that breaking out real early yesterday. Andrew helped me build some really interactive maps that showed us where these swing counties were headed. Henrico was in the president's column safely from early on in the night, and then later on we saw in those northern Virginia counties, Prince William and Loudoun, when they started to lean towards the president, we knew it was going to be a good night for President Obama. And honestly, despite the fact that we knew this was going to be a close election, this is exactly what we expected when we looked at all the public polling. The public polling was right. A lot of people didn't think it was going to be, but it certainly turned out to be correct.
And Ryan, I guess everyone is looking forward now. So what does this mean? We know Representative Eric Cantor won last night. What does this mean for him in terms of working with President Obama and now Senator Tim Kaine?
Well, I mean, this is going to be the big story, right? Because essentially, things are exactly where they were before last night. President Obama given 4 more years to continue to create the change that he promised back in 2008. We remain with a Republican House and a Democratic Senate. That means we still have gridlock, and we have huge, huge issues that need to be tackled. Before the end of this year, we have this looming fiscal cliff and sequestration, which is going to affect us big time here in Virginia. So there's going to be a lot of soul searching, I think, with Eric Cantor. He now becomes even more powerful than he was before. Hard to believe that his side did so poorly last night, but as a result, he remains the second most powerful Republican in America. He's going to be on the front lines of this conversation about now, do we put aside this partisan divisiveness that we've seen for the last 2 years and try and forge some sort of compromise, or are we going to continue to see more of the same, which is both sides backing into their corners and saying that we're going to have nowhere to go. And interesting, Gray, you asked about Governor Tim Kaine, or now Senator-elect Tim Kaine. He could play a big role in that because that was a big part of his campaign. He talked about bridging gaps, coming together, said he's going to already join the Gang of Six, which is this bipartisan group of people that are trying to forge that compromise. He could be one of the key players in making some of that happen.
And we saw Senator Warner come out in full support for Kaine, very visible. Are we hearing anything about what Warner's plans may be for the future?
Yeah, I actually have some news to break on that front. I'm going to post it in a little bit on decisionvirginia.com. I've had conversations last night with people very close to Senator Warner. He's been joking on the campaign trail about how Tim Kaine will now be the junior senator from Virginia. Well, that may not be for too long. Senator Mark Warner's folks telling me that he's seriously considering a run for governor, has not made a decision quite yet. I'm told that he's going to take a deep breath, huddle with his wife and his daughters over the next few weeks. We should know by Thanksgiving whether or not Senator Mark Warner is going to consider a run for governor again of Virginia, which would be a huge, huge ripple in the Virginia political landscape. It will mean that we're going to have a very competitive race for governor next year, but it will also mean that his seat will come available much earlier than we had anticipated, which could be good news for someone like Governor Bob McDonnell, who in about a year is going to be looking for a job. So that's really big political news that Senator Warner seriously considering that run for governor, and I'll have more on that in Decision Virginia later on today.
Okay, Ryan Nobles, thanks so much for coming in for us. We really appreciate it.
That breaking news.